Hi guys, this is Ratchet Throw, and we are playing Criminal Case Travel in Time, Case 12, Hell to Pay. Let's unlock Chapter 3 and the Cardinal got to us. We know nothing about Da Vinci and where he is. We didn't find him. We just went to investigate a brothel, but no, we haven't seen him at all. Gods, I wish to speak with you. Yes, Cardinal Cisneros? I know what you'll be frequenting a house of ill repute. Such behavior is not fitting for members of the Swiss Guard. If I hear that you visited the brothel again, I'll inform the Pope and have you recalled to the Vatican. Caterina, is it just me, or did the Cardinal seem overly upset about us visiting the brothel? We should have told him that it was for investigation. We just wanted to find the killer. We better discreetly head over to the brothel and examine it again, while we still can. Yeah, he better not see us go in there. That's Theo getting kisses from women. It's funny to see the picture and how we saw him when we went to see the results of the analysis. At least I have a smile on my face. Where the fuck is the comp? Oh, there. Thank goodness Da Vinci is safe from the Inquisition here, Katrina. Not only would it be a blow to us if they caught him, but it didn't set science back by centuries. Anyway, have you found any clues to help solve Matteo's murder so we can get the Inquisition on our side? Whatever this broken object is, it looks dangerous. Be careful putting it back together. And recovering the definitive writing in this notebook might prove informative. As for a lock case, do you think you can crack the lock? The torture of not knowing who killed Matteo will soon be over, Katrina. Alright, let's first unlock this. Jeez! Damn, I went the opposite. This is 2 and 2 is 1. Oh, it's a picture of Mona Lisa. Yeah, Leonardo painted that. Katrina, is that the Mona Lisa? As in Leonardo da Vinci's most famous painting of all time? But look at the state of it. Looks like somebody tried to put it back together after it was destroyed. I wonder what happened to it. Either way, Da Vinci shouldn't be leaving his belongings lying around while the Inquisition is looking for him. We'd better return it to him. Okay. You will carry it with you all along. Okay, let's restore this. Whatever it is. Oh my gosh, looks like a comb but with spikes. Definitely wasn't used for hair. Cardinal, it looks like some kind of torture device. It must have belonged to our victim. Wait, you think it's shaped like a spanking paddle? I guess you're right. But if someone pulled that out in the bedroom, I'd run in the opposite direction. It's true that our victim has sadistic tendencies. Do you think he might have brought it here to use on someone? In bed? If so, it must have been his favorite escort, Teresa. Let's ask her. Oh, yeah. You sometimes use some kind of, well, just a small kind of torture device in bed, one that don't hurt much. In modern times, we would use a taser. And this is in Spanish, we can't read it. The writing in this notebook is in Spanish, Katrina. That's Mateo's name, but the rest is too long for me to make out. But Neo's Spanish skills are much better than mine. Let's enter the notebook. Okay. Alright, that's gonna take 9 hours. Let's first return Mona Lisa to Leonardo. How are you doing, Mr. Da Vinci? We trust that the ladies are keeping you well hidden from the Inquisition. Oh, yes. They bring me meals and even at the table with the occasional game of Triumph. That's good to hear. Oh, you found your Mona Lisa lying around. Please, be more careful. Ah, Dio mio, tell me you didn't lay eyes upon it in its current state. It's only a poor imitation of what it once was. It's all Mateo's fault. He realized that there were better ways to hurt me than with physical pain. So he went to my workshop and took my favorite masterpiece so he could rip it up in front of my eyes. I got it off to pieces as I escaped, hoping I could salvage it. But it was impossible. Can't you just, repaint it? I put my soul into that painting. A reproduction will never be good enough to grace the walls of a museum. It's all Mateo's fault. We understand your anger, Mr. Da Vinci, but you have no idea what a mess we'll all be in if you kill Mateo for it. Yeah. Well, only 2 of them. What was the third? What was the third thing about the killer? Yeah, olives. You don't eat olives, so you're not going to be. Senorita Martinez, can you tell us who this paddle belonged to? Was it Mateo's? I suppose I don't have any reason to lie now that he's dead. That paddle was Mateo's. See, my normal services weren't enough for him. Mateo got off on seeing people in pain. He wasn't happy unless he was hurting me. But as soon as he was done, he'd act like nothing happened. He'd sit back and order me to play Triumph with him because his fiancée wasn't much good at it. I hated the way he treated me, but I didn't dare to do anything about it, in case he had me arrested. You certainly didn't deserve to be treated like that, Senorita Martinez. But we hope you didn't exact revenge by torturing Mateo to death. Oh, it could be Isabel, and it could be you as well. What does this Spanish writing mean? Jack, isn't it time you dropped this silly grudge against Theo? He insists he didn't take your moisturizer. I can't believe everyone's falling for his lies. I'll forgive him when he returns it. Suit yourself. Nothing can bring me down anyway. Alexandra wrote me the most wonderful letter. He said my eyes sparkle like topazes and... That's great, but please tell me you found time to look at that notebook from the brothel. Of course. And hold on to your hat, Katrina, because the notebook belonged to Cardinal Cisneros. Well, if the notebook was in the brothel, then that means he was there as well. And you told us not to go to the brothel, and we see you going as well. Maybe I'm just jumping to conclusions. In fact, it's the Cardinal's diary, and this entry is about him bumping into Matteo and the brothel. But what was the Cardinal doing at the brothel? He doesn't specify, but he was clearly embarrassed by Matteo seeing him, and suggested he might need to silence Matteo if he didn't keep quiet about it. It all makes sense now, Katrina. Cardinal Cisneros warned us to stay away from the brothel because he was worried we discover his secret. So that's what it's about. And clearly Matteo already had. Wait to question Cardinal Cisneros, but we'd better treat carefully. Man, I hate this guy so much. But we gotta be on good side with him, even though we hate him. Guards, I hope you're only interrupting my game of Triumph because you found Matteo's killer. Not yet, man. Not exactly, but we did find out that you, visited the brothel. I hope you're not hinting at anything improper. Cardinals take a vow of celibacy. I go to the brothel purely to weed out heretics. We also know that you encountered Matteo there. You wrote in your diary that you might need to silence him. Is that what happened to him? Of course not. I simply clarified the situation with him. I couldn't have people thinking that I spend my time being fed all eyes by ladies of ill repute. But one can never know if people really believe you. So I tried to use my knowledge of anatomy to liberate him of one of his body parts if he ever told anyone. Now, run along and find the real culprit. My patience is running out. Told you, I hate him. Katrina, we might have found Da Vinci, but he's stuck in that brothel till we find Matteo's killer. We're counting on solving Matteo's murder to gain favor with the Grand Inquisitor, so we can escort him out of Spain without raising suspicion. That is, if the Grand Inquisitor himself didn't murder Matteo to protect his reputation. We know the killer visited the tribunal in the town square, Katrina. Let's take another look there. Okay. Let's investigate the stocks. Katrina, that bottle. It contains a sleeping draught. Killer put sleeping draught on Matteo. You're right, we know that Matteo was given a sleeping draught. Our killer must have left this here. And that means we better collect a sample of that substance. And I'm sorry, Katia, but there's no way I'm sticking my hand in a bucket of rotten food. You're on your own. We are closer than ever to finding Matteo's killer. I can feel it. Let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. Alright, I'm gonna do the disgusting stuff first, and I'm gonna search the bucket of rotten food. We found a murder weapon. What was that bloody cycle doing in that bucket of rotten food, Katrina? Right, we know that our hero passed through the town square and that Matteo's throat was slit. This must be the cycle our killer used. Let's get to Janice. Okay. Okay, now the sleeping draught. Katrina, the last thing I want to do is see Tio's sneaky face. But we need to send him that substance from the Kiro's sleeping draught. Okay. Let's check out the bloody cycle. Our murder weapon. Katrina, all this petty Java is driving me up the wall. Now the Bet and Kai are squabbling about who used the last of the milk. My grandkids show more maturity than some of the tea, but they're only 3 and 5. Tell me about that. The sooner we get home, the better. Anyway, I'm sure you want to hear about that cycle Katrina sent me. I can confirm that not only is the blood of the cycle your victims, but the shape is consistent with his wounds. You've got your murder weapon. And what's more, I found traces of skin cells on the handle of the cycle, left there by your killer. I isolated the chromosomes and I can confirm that your killer is a woman. Oh, a woman. So our killer is female. Phew, at least that rules Da Vinci out, Katerina. Well, yeah, that's what we are happy about. But then it's either the fiancé, healer, or the woman in the brothel. Jack, for the 100th time, I didn't take your face cream. I don't want to hear your lies, Theo. We just want your results of that substance Katrina collected from the curious sleeping draught. Fine. The substance was a combination of chalk and lemon juice, which was a popular Renaissance concoction for restoring shine to silver jewelry. And since it was your killer who left the substance on the sleeping draught, they must be wearing a silver accessory. So our killer is wearing a silver accessory. They'll have another soon. Handcuffs. Well, back then they were shackles. And just so you know, this doesn't mean we are friends again, Theo. Well, we are not handling being stranded in time for this long. We are beginning to fight each other. I don't think this is gonna go well. This is it, Katrina. We're about to discover who killed the Inquisition's torturer. Okay, let's do this. I thought it was going to be him. That's why I was surprised that it's a woman. She doesn't wear silver. Well, we are just happy that it's not Da Vinci who is the killer. What was that about? Senorita Vasquez, you are under arrest for murdering Mateo Arias. Me? Kill Mateo? Did you listen to what I said earlier? I need a husband. He's no good to be dead. And yet we know you gave him a sleeping draught, rendered him drowsy so you could restrain him. Then you used your knowledge of anatomy to torture him for hours before slitting his throat and leaving him for dead. What we don't know is why you did it. Did you get cold feet about the marriage? No, I did it because Matteo killed my father. Oh! There's no point in lying anymore. I didn't kill Matteo, but he destroyed my family and ruined my life. What do you mean Matteo killed your father? Was he executed by the Inquisition? He had nothing to do with the Inquisition. See, Matteo had proposed to me while my father was alive, but I rejected him. He was furious. And then the day after I told him I'd never be desperate enough to marry him, my father was stabbed to death. His killer was never found, and my life fell apart around me. That was exactly what Matteo wanted. He proposed again, and I accepted, having no idea that he'd killed my father. But then I overheard him boasting to his friends that he was the one who murdered my father, forced me into his clutches. I realized that whatever might happen to me, I couldn't let him live after what he'd done. I seized my chance when Matteo invited me to his torture chamber to show off his work. There'd be nobody there for hours, he said. So while we were there, I spiked his drink, and then I gave him exactly what he deserved. I hope his soul rots in hell. We're sorry for your loss, Señorita Vasquez, but murdering Matteo to avenge your father's death was the solution. You're under arrest. Cardinal Cisneros, we are here to report that we discovered who killed your torturer. He was his betrothed. Excellent work. I knew that the Swiss Guard, protectors of the Pope himself, would not disappoint. Such a shame about Matteo's betrothed. We must have a trial at once. Actually, it seems that Matteo triggered a cycle of violence by killing her father. It's a pity a man working for your excellency to be involved in such a crime. Hasn't it been preferable to avoid the publicity of a trial? A valid point indeed. I should settle for excommunicating the girl before quietly banishing her. And thank you again for your assistance, guards. I should be sure to put in a good word for you with the Pope next time I see him. You'll find out that we aren't from this timeline. That the Pope doesn't know anything about us. Great job, guys. Not only did you get on the Cardinal's good side by finding the torturer's killer, but you also ensured Isabel Vasquez won't fall into the Inquisition's hands. Now, our next order of business is to get Da Vinci to safety and enlist his support to fix the time machine. It's a tall order, but given everything we've accomplished today, Katrina, I reckon we can do anything. Let's get to work. Yeah. Now we gotta make sure that Da Vinci is safe. He's not gonna hide in that brothel forever, so... Alright, we're gonna stop here. We're gonna continue playing in a Stroke of Genius number 2. So, thank you for watching. Don't leave a like to these videos, and I'll see you again. Goodbye!